All right, let's talk about gear and some incidentals. Pretty much, I got all the gear I left with. 9 days in, everything was pretty much relatively fresh. If you recall, I had to buy a new tent and I had to buy a new Cush sleeping bag. I think I was able to maybe spend 2 or 3 days with those on the trail before everything, was a wash. So the good news is I know I got a fresh tent and I know I got a nice sleeping bag to look forward to. And the camera that I'm using is still the Canon PowerShot. This is the same camera from 2015. I will be taking the same computer, MacBook Pro, same one you see in all the videos. As long as it will allow the software updates, I'm going to continue to bring it. So I will be bringing that as well. So pretty much. There's really nothing for me to really add to gear. But while I have you, since this is about me toting stuff along, I'm gonna go ahead and add it to this clip. Now then, if you recall, when I got to Georgia, before I got the ride to Amicalola Falls, I spent the night with Robin. She and I hiked that last bit in 2015 to Mount Katahdin. Stayed in touch. I said, hey, I'm going through on 2020. You live in Georgia. You think you can give me a ride? So I spent the night there. She picked me up at Sandy Springs MARTA station, and she brought me back where I picked up the ride to take me to Amicalola Falls. I'm saying that to say this. The tradition is that hikers coming from Georgia should pick up a stone from Georgia and carry it ceremoniously to Maine with them and deposit it on Mount Katahdin. Well, Robin gave me this rock. It's the same rock she gave me. I just put everything on ice, and now I'm going to take this rock with me, in a compensatory fashion, and place it on top of Mount Katahdin. Now that's for Robin. As you know, I'm carrying a nautilus shell. This is actually from Hawaii, but at any rate, this is what I'm going to deposit, and there's a little joke behind it. If you see the first season, you'll figure out why I'm taking the shell. It's nefarious, but comedy as well. But since this is my last trip to the Appalachian Trail, what I did was I'm going to take the trail with me when I leave. This is a modified Tic Tac box. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of, let me read what it says on it. It says, land from the 14 states of the Appalachian Trail memorialized. Okay, and then it goes Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. These are all the states that I'm going to traverse through. Okay, on my Thur-Hike. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, a couple of grams of earth, put it in there, and just pretty much fill it all the way up until I get to Maine, and then take the whole trail with me. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know I'm not coming back. So that's just a little something for me. What else? That's about it. I'm pretty much restless. I already got my ticket. It's just a matter of time now. I'm just trying to get all these videos together, and honestly, I think in the first season, the pilot episode was much too long. So all I'm doing is condensing everything down as much as possible, and that's that. I'll see you when I see you. Shout out to Lizzie, R.I.P. my friend. Rest in peace. Out here.
It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me and I walk alone.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through.
All right, what's up? August here. The date today is February 1st, 2022. And what's significant about this day is this is the first time that I'm gonna eat meat in three years. If you recall, April 17th, 2019, I gave up meat. And when I say I gave up meat, what I'm talking about is I didn't eat anything with a heartbeat. You see what I'm saying? Period. And that was pretty much the way of it. However, when I went to the trail in 2020, what I found is that in 7 days of me hiking the trail before they closed it and I went home, I lost 14 pounds. 14 pounds in 7 days. Now, granted, there was a lot of rigorous hiking, but nothing that I haven't done in the past. And if you recall, if you just watch the videos, if you recall, what happened was the weight really wasn't the issue, losing the weight. The problem was my hip structure changed. And what it did was it rendered my hip belt, the hip belt that snaps around, pretty much inoperable. I mean, it worked, but I didn't have any waist left, so I was carrying all the weight on my shoulders. I recall, like, after the 4th day, I had to take my camera off because I had my camera on my hip strap. I took that off so I can get more cinch. But yeah, by the 7th day, I was cinched out, and the pack didn't fit me stern enough. It didn't support me enough to actually carry the weight. So I knew right then some changes were going to have to be made. Unfortunately for me, the Appalachian Trail, or the state of Georgia, made that decision for me when they decided to close the trail due to COVID. So, but I knew coming home something's going to have to change. Okay, so it's been 3 years. It's been 3 years since I've been on this diet. Okay, and today, since this is February 1st, and I know that I'm going to be hiking next month, I'm taking myself off that diet. Okay, so let me see, to give you some perspective. When I got off the trail in 2020, I weighed like 174. When I stepped on the scale this morning, 2 years later, I weigh like 182. So in the span of 2 years, giving my workout regimen and that same diet as a vegetarian, eating no meat, I only managed to gain like maybe 8 pounds in that time. Okay, and I'm taking that into account now. So what I'm actually doing now is saying, oh, all right, what I got to do now is switch it up before I hit the trail. So I'm going to eat me a steak dinner tonight just to commemorate February 1st. And from then on, like I said, I'm going to continue to eat meat throughout the whole trail. I'm not saying that you can't hike the trail as a vegetarian, but with the amount of effort and enthusiasm, or however you want to put it, what I put into it, it doesn't work for me. Do I still eat grass? Yes. Will I continue to eat grass? Yes. And to be honest with you, let's face it, there ain't no stronger fiber than grass itself. So the fact that I thought that I could eat grass as a substitute for meat, that was probably a double-edged sword, because what happened was the grass was that fiber being grass was so agitating in my stomach that nothing stayed in. It doesn't matter how much I ate, because I had the grass, it just pushed it out. All right, so maybe those of you that are trying to lose weight, maybe it'll work for you. I don't know. But check this out. since I only gained 8 pounds in 2 years, and it may take a second for this food to catch up with me now that I'm eating meat, what I've actually done is I've made a makeshift waist. All right, this is a repurposed yoga mat, and what I've done is pretty much what I'm gonna do is just wear it like so. It weighs nothing. So by putting it around my waist like this, okay, and then putting my pack on, this will give me the hips that I need, the artificial hips that I need to give the pack something to sit on. And in this way, I'm not worried about it, because had I stayed on the trail, this would have had to been some kind of option. All right, I would have had to thicken out my waist some to give the actual strap something to bite on. So that's where we are right now. February 1st, I'm going to start back eating meat, and I don't know how long it's going to take my body to take, which is why I'm got the plan B option, backup option, just in case. And that's where we are right now. So that addresses one concern. I have several, but I'm only going to do this video for this right now to address that one concern as far as the vegetarian and the losing weight and stuff. So there you go, out here. Compliments of Outback. What's up? Ozzy here. Before I get into my next concern, I just want to make a statement of fact before I even begin. Now, in context of through hiking, there is no way that a through hiker is going to be able to resupply his or herself from Georgia to Maine without the aid of a nameless stranger willing to pick them up and take them anywhere they need to go and then drop them back to the trail. Okay? So basically, my next concern is hitchhiking. You know, in speaking for myself, in 2015, I can't tell you how many times I hitchhiked, but I got picked up about 10 times. Okay? Now, that's not counting the shuttles that I paid for, because I'm a planner. Okay? So that's not counting the shuttles that I actually planned in advance. You know what I'm saying? Put down the money and had them take me where I needed to go. All right. So at the end of the day, if I was out there throwing my thumb out, me being cognizant of the fact that I am black and this is not my first rodeo, it's hard to hitchhike on the trail, period. You know, most people ask me, why do you always wear army garb? Well, number one, it's definitely the proper attire given the environment as far as task, condition, and standards. But for number two, and the main reason is people need to know they're picking up a soldier. I want them to see army green, not some black menacing dude 6'4" standing there with their thumb out. You know what I'm saying? Because let's face it, this is a new world. All right. I mean, we're talking about a post COVID-19 world during 2 years into a global pandemic. All right. Now, you figure, if you ask me, someone hitchhiking with a mask on says two things: sickly or sinister. And I don't want neither one of those things to be addressed towards me when I need a ride, I plan on having, well, first of all, yes, I'm vaccinated. I got my booster. I got my 2 vaccination shots. If they ask for a fourth, I'll do what I got to do. I mean, I'm not tripping. I've been vaccinated in the military all the time, so really. But back to the thing. I'm going to have 2 masks. I'm going to have one across my neck, so it's always there, giving me warmth, and I can just pull it up. That's very convenient, but that's also the preference of like bandits and whatnot. So basically, when it comes time for me to hitchhike, all right, I'm going to have a surgical ready white mask. Now, let's be honest, this mask will not hold up a day on the trail, given the weather, the conditions at the bottom of your pack and whatnot. But I'm going to have this baby ziplocked to my wallet. And when it comes time for me to actually throw my thumb out, I'm going to hang this over one ear, like so, okay? So they can see me. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm going to sit there so my pearly whites can shine, and I'm going to do my best smile and just throw that thumb out there. Now, that's my remedy, because like I said, I don't know how I would feel picking up somebody with the mask on, because it's divided. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 2 out of 4 people are probably germaphobes now. You know what I'm saying? So you either saying something that, yeah, you're sick, or you're anti-vaxxer. You see what I'm saying? So really, but I can walk the middle road by hanging the mask on my ear and doing my thing and just hoping for the best. Okay, so so that's that. You know, I am concerned about hitchhiking and whatnot, and it's just like I said, more so because of the message. You know, trying to wear a mask and whatnot. Now, once I get in their car, if they be like, "Hey, you don't need that," cool. I'm vaccinated anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that it does tamper down a bit. It decreases the odds, you know, as far as hitchhiking go. All right, that was that concern. And since I got you, I'm going to go ahead and give you my last concern. And believe it or not, it's global warming. All right. In 2015, oh my God, it had to have rained 75% of the time. I remember this one fact. It rained 21 days in the month of June. And at that time, I was in Vermont, usually called Vermud, because you're constantly walking through mud, okay? And I don't got to tell you, I'm not going to say perils of hiking in rain. Yeah, I fell and whatnot. But, dude, wet gear is heavy gear. You know what I'm saying? It erodes your boots. It rots out your tent. It just does so much. And so it scarred my experience. But I got through it, you know. And I don't know if you recall this, but in 2020, I was out there 9 days. And if you asked me, I would, just to guess, it rained 4.5. It rained 4.5 days the whole time I was out there. And I was just out there for 9 days. And if you recall, and I can't tell you the date, but it rained so bad I woke up in a puddle. And when I tried to get up, it was you know, limited visibility. I fell on my tent, broke my tent. And this is all water related. It's rain related because it all has to do with the weather. And so now I'm thinking 2020. I mean, all I could do is prepare for the worst, because it's not getting any drier. You know, yeah, you know, you want water there. You want to be able to drink water, but dude, I mean. That's so hey, that's my concern. You know, global warming, 2020, walking in a wet wonderland or hiking in a wet wonderland. It's not gonna it may damper the experience literally, but I'm not gonna let the rain just, you know, make my trail journey a wash, pun intended. So those are my concerns, I guess. So just to reiterate, I was worried about the weight, so I'm not doing the whole vegetarian thing. I'm gonna eat meat. Another concern was trying to actually hitchhike during, you know, COVID-19 and, you know, the whole pandemic and whatnot. And I got to work around for that. And then another one was just, oh my God, the rain. You feel me? So those are my concerns moving forward. I got a few more things to say, but I'm just breaking this down as it comes. And if you don't know, yeah, this will be my last hike. Period, you know, as far as planning, because I'm so far ahead as far as what I'm going to do, and that's simply because of where we're at now, sign of the times. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the state of anything is going to be come 2024, so I'm focused on, okay, let me, you know, get this little bit of, you know, thrill that I'm going to get, you know, before I have to really start doing a big course correction. So this will be my last trip, and I'm trying to cover all the bases and everything. So that's that. All right, out here. Good morning. Today's the 11th. I'm still in the hotel, so that's the backdrop you're looking at. I had a dream last night, and it was about me giving you this video. So it'll be quick, it'll be to the point, and if I'm just bumbling around, it's just because this was not a planned thing. But it's something that you need to know. So let's get to it. Number one, just basic hiking 101. Hikers don't run off their muscles. All hikers run off their gut, meaning pretty much what you eat or drink, with emphasis on what you drink. Okay. Now, I've always had a saying, the only buried treasure out there is water, because true value is measured in what both the rich and the poor couldn't live without. Okay. And that's like the perfect segue to say what I want to say. You know, in terms of through hiking, it only takes a modicum of time, maybe a week or so, before once you get into the woods, you just forget your habits, your outside habits. You lose the rhythm of what you would normally do out there in the world, and that goes across all barriers. I mean, talking from from a typical standpoint to your diet, to more a philosophical standpoint to your philosophy and the way you think. Okay, but let's get to it. I'm not without my problems out here in the woods, and what I mean is that to say that I've always had stomach issues of some sort, and I never really connect the dots, right? And so in my dream, I was looking back at the movies, and then it hit me all at once. All the dots came together, and the emphasis is this right here. Anytime I've ever had any disruption in my stomach, to say like, irritable bowel syndrome or just pain or gas or bloating, it was always after leaving a town. And when I say after leaving a town, I mean basically after going to a hostel, after spending a day at a hotel, just pretty much leaving a built up area and then going back into the woods. Around that 24-hour period, that's when it hits me. And you just assume that it must be something in the woods, meaning something that you ate or maybe drank some bad water, but you're only looking at this through the lens of the woods. Why? Because that's where you are. When you're healthy, when you're sick, it hits you when you're surrounded by the trees, right? And so it's just easier to just guilty by association, the woods got me. But the bottom line is this, and I'm just going to paraphrase it like this, just to give you a little synopsis, a little story, so to speak. Analogy is what I was looking for. Out here in the world, I really don't drink soda. Okay, as far as like soda pop and whatnot, mostly because obviously the food coloring, the artificial sugars, and if you don't know, carbonated water is radioactive. So CO2. So just those little things, and that's just my personal preference. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm out there in the woods and somebody gives out some hiker magic and I'm hiking and I see a 6-pack of Coke sitting in the stream, my hypocrisy will only go so far. Yeah, I'm going to grab me some Coke, but I'll only grab one. Mostly for two reasons. One is for etiquette. You want to leave something for the other hiker. But at the end of the day, I'm only going to grab one. All right. And mostly because I know when I'm out there in the woods, it's not going to stay in my system long and it's going to shoot right through, and I need the calories. Mostly I need the calories. That's why I gravitate to the lesser evil, and I'll drink the pop. Okay. Now, what I want to say is this. What I will not do in the real world or in the woods is drink tap water. Okay. Now, when I say tap water, I'm talking about the stuff that comes out of your faucet, the stuff that you bathe in, the stuff that you wash dishes in, okay? I will only drink either bottled water or purified water or pretty much something that I bought. Now, when we go to our tap and we turn it on, sure, that water is purified to the state standard and is purified to the naked eye. However, the gases and just chemicals that's in that water is not necessarily good for human consumption, and certainly not in a great volume. All right. So if I'm out and about and I'm in the movies or wherever I'm doing and I ask for water, I'm making sure that water's filtered because I just prefer water. I'm making sure that the water's filtered or it's purified in some other way. So when you go to the store and you buy purified water, what they're telling you is it's clean, but it's also clean to the degree that it's been purified to the point of human consumption, where they removed all the noxious fumes and, your eyes aren't watering when you look over it for the chlorine and whatnot. Now, what I have done in the past is, let's say you're in town, right? The last thing you're going to do is add more weight to your pack. What do you mean? You're in town, you pack up, you resupplied, you ready to go, and you're like, oh, I forgot to fill up my water, right? So, because sometimes when you come out of the woods, you're going to take your water, you're going to dump it because algae and whatnot grows in it because that's fresh water, no matter how you look at it. And sometimes you have to clean out your filter, and I always take the time to do that myself. When I say filter, I'm talking about the hydration kit. I will clean my tube, I dump the water, clean it, sanitize it, and then fill it back up. And here is the faux pas. All right, you're going so quickly. It's been times where I would just go right to the bathroom, right? Turn on the spigot and put it right up under the bathtub because I can get more volumes of water coming through, or I'll grab something quick out the sink or something like that. And it doesn't matter where you are, without even thinking, All right, I'm putting this potable water in my thing, right? And then I put it like, I don't know, maybe 3 liters, and that's what I'm hiking off of, okay? And I drink a lot of water. I always drink a lot of water, and water is so important to me. And so where I may drink 2 gallons of water a day out here in the world, then you better believe I'm gonna be trying to match that out there in the trail. And so when I leave the city and I'm hiking and I'm drinking this tap water in volume as I'm going through the trail, I don't know, 4 hours, 6 hours, but now I get it. It just hits me all of a sudden. My stomach starts cramping, I'm burping, and I'm like, what the hell, you know? And only thing I can think of is it's the woods. So, long story short, be careful, all right? What I'm going to do and what I suggest is when you go into towns, keep a Nalgene with you, okay? Like something you can fill up, or even take your water hydration kit. And what I plan to do is when I go into restaurants, when I go into places where I know they have filtered water, I'm going to fill up my Nalgene, and then I'm going to take my pack off my back, the little water, and I'm going to fill it up. Because you want to make sure you maintain fresh water, because believe it or not, that spring water that you're getting on the trail, if you get it from the right places, is 100 times more pure than the tap that you're putting in your water. I mean, the tap that you're putting in your body, the tap water. And that tap water comes with some consequences, I'm telling you. And so it don't matter how strong you are. Once you get them stomach cramps, you're out of the game, all right? And unless you realize it, you're going to continue to sip on that water, not realizing, thinking, well, I'll just go to fluids to flush it out, and you're doing more harm than good. Because as you know, Flint, Michigan is not the only place that has lead in their water, as well as any other thing. So be careful, all right? Be cognizant when you go out there to always keep that as fresh of a water source that you can get. Get purified water, even if it means you got to go to the store and you got to buy maybe a 6-pack of water. It's worth it than just grabbing your water receptacles and just sticking it under anything you can find that's giving out water. And it's not uncommon in New Jersey, in states where the water sources are suspect, to have to go and find a water hose. I've done it a million times. Go behind somebody's house and get a water hose or something like that, and they even have pumps. But the bottom line is this. Okay, make sure that the water that you're drinking is pure, not so much as in the woods. I'm not talking about Giardia. I'm talking about if you are cognizant of what you put in your body when you're out here in the streets. You know what I'm saying, with the filtered water and this, that, and the other. Then you got to keep that mindset. You can't go to sleep with that. Keep that mindset as you go into town. And if it means buying your own water, buy your water. So that was a dream, and sorry I didn't say that further, but I'm glad I did, because now I have one more layer of protection when I'm going out there, to be extra cognizant of the fact that, okay, now where can I get the purified water? All right, out here. Morning. Just had an awesome breakfast at the Embassy Suite. They really took care of you. Right now I'm waiting on my ride to come pick me up. It's gonna be $120 to get the shuttle. It wasn't too much planning that I could do. The book that I have is 2019 as far as the guidebook, and I didn't see any point in trying to get an updated version, because pretty much these last two years have been null and void, and 2020 was nullified. So I'm just going to stick with the 2019 book that I have, and I just kept calling until I found someone, and it was so sparse I didn't even try to talk them down. So $120 to get to the trail. It's looking like kind of rain. If I'm not mistaken, the forecast did call for it, but that's expected, right? Out here. My ride's here. He goes by the name of Subman. I'll ask him what it means later. But anyway, I'm gonna throw my pack in the trunk and we out. 9:35. I just pulled into the park. The visitor center is right up here, but they actually changed where hikers go to register because there's so many hikers. So I'm gonna figure that out, register, get my tag so you know what number I am, and pretty much go from there. Yeah, so I'll keep you posted. How you doing? This is the infamous arch that hikers pass through on the way to the trail. They actually updated this sign right here. It used to say 2,008 miles. Now it's actually 2,190 miles. 0.9. That's what they're giving you to Katahdin. What you need to know is that they don't. They don't. Oh no, I'm good. I'm doing video. Thank you. I appreciate it. They don't. They don't count the Blue Blaze trails, and the Blue Blaze trails are the trails that you take when you're going off the trail to get to a shelter. And in the course of a through hike, you can do 50 miles easy, added on just from going to the trail. I mean to the shelter and back again. They actually changed where you register, so I'm gonna go register right now, get a tag, so you know my number out here.
Before you get out of here, if you want, there's a shuttle.
Okay, I'm registered. I am 1,158th person to come through. Now, in 2020, I was 1,260, and like I said before, 1 and 2 is 3 and 6 is 9. That's a good omen, right? Well, here you got 2 and you got 5. That's 7. 7 plus 8 is 15, and 1 and 5 is 6. So that's a derivative of 3. It's because how do you get 6? 2 3s. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's another good omen. I'm staying within the Trinity, so to speak. Anyway, I weighed my pack and it weighs in at 60, and that's not bad. That's counting water. So it sounds heavy, but I got stuff in there that I'm going to use fairly quickly, like some fire starter material, things of that nature. And this is the pack that I've trained with, and everything in it I've hiked with, so I feel comfortable with it. All it can do at this point is get lighter. Is 60 too much? Absolutely. However, that's just my range. 55, 60, that's been my range for the past coming up 10 years. And that's what you expect when you carry a computer, because you got the hard drive, you got the cords and all the appropriate accompaniments. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna hike up to the lodge and I'm gonna drop this video out here. I just saw my video. I failed to mention that I'm still carrying the Celtic cross. So basically, as I told you before, there are books that you can register in as you go through the trail. I find it easier just to have the stamp. So if you see that Celtic cross, the knot that never ends, or so that turns upon itself, that's going to be the symbol. That's my symbol. So August Servant. That's a symbol that I've adopted. So yeah, there's that. Remember that hip strap I told you about, that the artificial, that I had to give myself some hips? I made it a little better. I put Velcro on it and I made it thicker. So this way it's gonna stay, it's not going nowhere. And it's kind of like waterproof, so I can sweat through it and rain can get through it. But it's so big now that I won't have no problem having something for my waist to grab onto when I'm cinching the pack up. The guy in here, he's giving classes, and he made a good point. He said it's a good idea to take a mask with you if you're through hiking, because some of the shuttle drivers may require you, if you need a shuttle, to put a mask on. And he said some of the businesses that you're hiking in, depending on where you are on the trail, like if you go into a grocery store or something like that, they may require that you mask up, and that's good advice. So I just passed that on. It's going to be severe weather tonight. They say it's going to snow. It's going to get down to 17 degrees. That's cold. So my attitude is, I'm not certain if I'm going to go out today, but even if I do, and I probably will, if it's that cold when I wake up in the morning, I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to sleep in. Just take a 0 day right there. At least I'm out because I want to be out. But I'm certainly not going to be miserable trying to pack my tent up in ice rain with frozen fingers. So it's very important that you start on a good note, because that's going to be the trajectory of your morale when you think about it. So, but right now, I'm gonna hike up to the falls. That's maybe mile and a half, and you got a whole lot of stairs. You've seen that on all my videos. So I'm gonna go up to the lodge right now. I'm gonna use their internet and drop a video out here. It's already recording.
It's already recording now.
Yeah.
What do you want me to...
Just you see me?
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool. And what I'll do is I'll look at it later and I'll see if my pack is lopsided or if there's any adjustments I have to make.
Awesome.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Good luck.
Thank you. Altogether, it's like 600 or 800 stairs. It's a good workout. Let me just say, oh my God, that was a difficult hike. And it should be with 60 pounds on your back. Basically, you just follow the signs to the approach trail at this point. Right now, the reason why I call it 0 day is because I am 8 miles away from Springer Mountain. That's when the trail begins. That's like mile 1. And honestly, it's 11:22 right now. It's raining a little bit, and I already know what's to come with the weather conditions. Now, right now I'm doing a cost-benefit analysis. If you recall, all day, let me see. The last 2 days have been rigorous. Me just not being able to sleep on the bus. I came in, I got the workout. I didn't really sleep really good yesterday. So I'm thinking the prudent thing to do is for me to just take another day to make sure I'm 100%. I got the weight, I feel it, I know exactly what I'm dealing with, but I'm thinking in sense of, like I told you before, don't do what you could do. Do what you should do. You feel me? And I haven't officially started, and I know my body is still going through this a little bit. So I'm thinking the best thing for me to do is to take this workout in stride, tweak my pack a little bit, make it lighter now that I know what I have. 60 pounds is too much. I'm gonna go through and see what I can take out. But at the end of the day, this is pretty much it as far as everything I'm working with, because I've been through this too many times to know what to get rid of and what not to get rid of. I'm carrying some extra fire log starter and stuff like that. And you know what? My back can handle it. I got a strong back. So yeah, I'm headed out to the lodge out here. So yellow done wormed its way into my heart as being one of my favorite colors now. You've got to love these daffodils. They're just that ray of sunshine in the fog and in the snow and in the rain and so forth. Anyway, this is the lodge. All right. Good morning. Now then. All right, I'm about to post this video. I just want to do one more update. I'm gonna go ahead and hike out. The lodge is pretty much full. Now, remember what I said, don't do what you should do, don't do what you could do what you should do. Well, I did err on the side of caution, and after weighing everything, saying that they don't have any rooms, then cool, you know, fate wants me to hike, I'm gonna hike on, it's all good. So I'm gonna put this out and then hit the road, and I'll keep you posted out here.